Since I've had the DJI Mavic Mini, I had no idea that I would find so many people afraid to take control of such an easy-to-fly aircraft. My wife and daughter are terrified, my future son-in-law, most of my friends, and even my father, who enjoys flying aircraft, won't even fly with me while I fly my DJI Mavic Pro. So, if you're nervous and skeptical of the reliability or just downright afraid, stick around and allow me to put your mind at ease. If you like drones, photography, videography, and tech-related material, please consider subscribing and let's get started. The Mavic Mini is one of the easiest drones to prepare for takeoff on the market. It's the drone that broke the seal for me and reignited my ambition and love to fly. I've had other cheaper drones that required you to control its location at all times and had zero hoverability, and now there are drones out there that not only hover easily but avoid obstacles, return to you, fly to pre-designated paths, and automatic cinematic pre-programmed shots, that was a mouthful, all while watching on a clear and reliable monitor or smart device. The DJI Mavic Mini has many of those features, but before we get into the capabilities, let's discuss the remote interface with the DJI Fly app, the remote itself, and some safety topics that will have you up and flying like a pro in no time. So after you download the DJI Fly app on your smart device, you'll want to follow the prompts to create a profile where you can maintain your flight logs and statistics and activate and Find My Drone feature and all those good things. Hopefully you won't have to use the Find My Drone feature, but it's always a comfort knowing you can retrieve your drone due to a mistake or a mishap. When you find your drone, you'll want to ensure that you do have that DJI insurance, so you can send it back for, I think, twice a year for repair or replacement. First, you will need to directly connect your compatible phone or tablet to your remote. Now, when I say compatible, there is a list that I'll provide a link down below for you, so you could actually see what devices are compatible with it. Now, you're going to power up your remote by tapping once and holding on the second tap to power up your remote. Now, do the same with your Mini on a level surface facing away from you. And also make sure that you're away from metal objects that can interfere with the compass navigation system, GPS system within your Mavic Mini. Now power up your app and connect to the aircraft. Now let's discuss some of the features without getting too far into the weeds of the sensitivity controls and user settings for the camera. We'll have more intricate instruction in later videos. I highly suggest that when you finally get started that you just start out in the program mode. Sport mode is for a little bit more advanced users, and it goes a lot faster and you got a lot less control over it. Now mode C, when you're in cinematic smooth shots, then you of course can shoot a lot smoother than you would normally be able to, and everything moves a lot slower. Now I like to stay, and I highly suggest that you stay in the position mode, because that is the standard mode that lets you have full capabilities and controls over your DJI Mavic Mini. Now of course right now I don't have an SD card in it because I'm trying to show you some of the interface stuff, but it will tell you if you do not, and it does not have internal memory. I've got 9 satellites, if you see up here on the right hand corner. Now it's going to 10 and 11, and so on a good clear day, I've had up to 13, 14 satellites, and that's ample for what we're going to be, or for what you're doing. It helps with the GPS and the positioning, and of course when you don't have it, then you don't have the accuracy that where your drone is going to be. You have your Wi-Fi signal, then you have your battery life. And the battery life of the drone, that menu right here is your battery temperatures, your current flight time, and your voltages of your battery. And here I like to use my histogram, so I like to turn it on. If you don't understand that, I don't really suggest you pay attention to it at first. We're just trying to get off the ground, and in a later tutorial we'll talk about the histogram. Your 2 buttons on the top one on the left with the little red dot is record video, and of course the one on the right has a little camera on it is to take pictures. Down at the bottom you have aircraft behind the remote, aircraft in front of the remote. So as you notice, if you turn around, you can actually see it moving as it's not even taken off yet, and it's telling me that my position to it. So if you practice with that and get used to it, you can become comfortable enough in knowing that that drone is in front of you and what direction it's facing, because right now that's rather accurate on where I'm standing. You have your 0 miles per hour if you like to use kilometers. That's good. In the United States, we use miles per hour. And you have your distance, which is about 9 feet away, which is also accurate. Your height and your 0 miles per hour that's above that. Now, that's of course, your height, and of course, in the United States, you can't fly any higher than 400 feet. So you want to stay below that. And your 0 miles per hour is your ascent and descent miles per hour. Bottom left-hand corner, you have a map icon. And you can open that up to full screen, and you can actually pick hybrid mode. So you can go standard, you can do satellite, or we'll just do mixed here. And with mixed mode, it will show a picture of where you are, and it's starting to load up here. And then that's an indicator right there that unless you have crazy good signals somewhere, try not to use that too much because it can slow your system down. But if you lose satellite, now you have just satellite. Now you have satellite and standard, or you can just go standard, and it'll tell you where you are on your map. And then you click the map again, and it goes back to the camera. So you click the map again. You see the Find My Drone feature. That is very, very, very helpful because you can tell it on the bottom right hand, use flash or start flashing and beeping. It'll start making noise once you get closer. Of course, I'm standing right on it right now, and it's telling me such. So if I hit start flashing and beeping, it'll do that until you find it. And if it's in the dark and too hard to see, all the lights will be going off on it, and I can hit stop, and we found it. So if this is any indication of how this thing works, I had my wife go hide my drone from me. And of course it's powered up, so I am probably going to be very lucky at finding it. I can see a picture of it on the screen here, but I don't know exactly what that is. So let's see where we are. Okay, so if you look on the map here, there I am. I'm walking. We're walking, we're walking, we're walking. Okay, and not getting any closer, therefore it's out back, I think. Alright, so it says I'm pretty close to it, so I'm going to hit Find My Drone, and I'm going to hit Start Flashing and Beeping. Found it. I was close. And I was close because there it is. You hit it right there. Now you have a takeoff button on the left hand side. I don't particularly care too much for using that, but if you press it and then hold the takeoff button and let go, it'll take off and hover at 3 meters. Now if you want it to land again, you just hold the button down, land, and it's going to go right back to where it was. Now, when you go to your return to home feature and you're 3 meters up or higher, it will go to whatever height that you programmed your drone to be for your return to home feature. So you want to look around your area, maybe even fly to a high point and kind of look around to see, all right, I'm at 120 feet. This looks like the highest point around here. Good. I'm going to add 20 feet to it. That way, when you return to home and you go up above that point, you're not going to hit any obstacles, because every time you hit return to home, it's going to go to that return to home height, go right above your location, and drop straight down so it doesn't hit anything. So keep that in mind. And that is pretty much it. Now you're ready to go fly. And every time I get ready to fly, I always go out and assess how much wind is occurring around me, and there's apps that you can tell, but if you just go out and just check and see, today is an incredibly still day. It's very hot here in the northern panhandle of Florida, I must admit. It's about 90 degrees right now and the sun's baking down on me, and I'm wearing this black shirt, so I need to hurry up and finish this because it's hot. You know, I told you that, you know, there's a little takeoff button here on the remote, but I don't care too much for that. I like to have manual control of the actual craft. So if you bring the bow sticks in like so, it'll start up the engines, and then you just push upward and you're up and flying. So that's actually very helpful for me, and it's just much easier for me to understand and control. But I am not doing anything with the sticks right now. This thing is hovering on its own. It's got a slight breeze now that I say that there's no wind. But I'll bring it right up here in front of the camera and let you see. That's how responsive I'm. That's almost instant. And look here. I mean, I'm not even touching the remotes. This is hovering and flying on its own. So there's really nothing to be afraid of. So knowing that, and the wind's picking up, you actually get a little bit of a wind test here. Let's turn around and we're gonna take off. We're gonna get out of here. Now it takes a lot of practice, but we're gonna hit our record button here. I did put a memory card in it, and as you can see here, I mean, that is a really, really fantastic response and beautiful picture. And it's a nice, beautiful, sunny day. You can't really ask for much better than what conditions we have right now. And one of the reasons that I said at the very beginning was to make sure that you face the drone away from you. That is so you can become oriented with it, because the controls are reversed once it's facing you, and it can be a little, you know, discombobulating at first. So just to make it easier for you until you get more comfortable, it's best just to go ahead and face it away from you. But knowing that, now your right joystick, so you have up, down, turn, around, and then you have forward, and you have backwards, you have left and right strafing, and you can tell it's very responsive. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's really fast. The picture's fantastic. You've got your record button up here, and you also have here, you've got your wheel to control the camera up and down. So when you move it, here, let's face it towards us here, and just watch the camera as it comes closer. Now I'm going to move the wheel down, and you can see the camera is facing completely down almost. And then you move the wheel to the right, and you can look up. Now I've got mine set to where you can look up 20 degrees more than factory settings. So you'll see that setting in the advanced settings and the camera calibration. But that is pretty much it. That is how easy it is to fly. The more you do it, the more experience you'll get, and you just go out and have a great time. What's really cool about this as well is with the battery life, you got 30 minutes, so it says. I average about 25 to 27 because, you know, the battery's going to use up more strength because of wind resistance and other things occurring, natural occurrences. But, you know, even 27 minutes, that's a lot of flight time. So if you buy the Fly More combo kit, then you can have 3 batteries and just keep rotating them in and out, and you can fly all day long. So I highly recommend you get that, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you got anything out of this, please hit that subscribe button, like button, notification bell, and keep an eye out for more content coming up, because there's going to be a lot of drones. I've got a new one coming in for you, got an upgrade, and if you follow my Facebook or my Instagram account, you'll see there is a new member of the family, and it's about to take off. So again, Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.